Welcome to the first ever Why Not podcast with tough questions and even tougher answers. Today we're going to talk about a couple things, and I think we're going to start off first with what everybody's talking about. It's 420.
It is 420.
420.
But they're probably not on the date that comes out.
That's
But
true.
Today is 420.
The day we're recording this is 420.
What a day to be alive.
Yeah, I mean,
I gotta say.
the background of 420 is kind of wicked.
Really?
Maybe not 420, but weed goes back a ways.
Weed definitely does.
Do we know the background about 420? Like, why is 420 why is it related
why is
to
it
weed?
today? Like, why is it not 510
Yeah.
or different day?
Was 420 a made up thing? Like, did just people just
They
start
just throw it around.
calling it 420?
5 high school students in San Rafael, California, used the term 420 in connection with plan to search for an abandoned cannabis crop.
Wow.
So they just kind of did throw out a number.
Yep.
Yeah, they just
They just
threw
said,
out a number.
This is what we're gonna do.
And that was like their
This is what we're
code.
rolling with.
Yep.
That was their code to go find some weed, I guess.
Yeah. We got another kind of hot topic that just came out within hours.
Yeah.
And Derek Chauvin
Chauvin, I think.
Chauvin?
was convicted of all 3 that he was accused of.
First off, so he's accused of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter.
Mm-hmm.
How can you second-degree murder somebody and third-degree murder them? How does that work? How can you do both?
I don't know how.
So if I first-degree murder somebody, do I get charged with first, second, third-degree murder?
What's like the classifications of a degree of murder? Like what makes it first, second, and third?
I've got second and third degree.
What makes it
Second
and
degree is causing the death of a human being without intent to cause death. So to convict somebody for it, they gotta find that they intended to commit an assault that could cause bodily harm. So they intended to assault them, but not kill them. So like if I decide to
okay.
start a fight with you
And you actually
and
kill me.
I kill you, that would be second degree murder.
Okay, that
like
makes
I didn't
sense.
mean to murder you.
That makes a
But
lot
I
more
did.
sense. What's third degree?
Third degree is unintentionally causing someone's death by committing an act that is eminently dangerous to another person while having a morally corrupt mind, is the definition.
Morally
from
corrupt
online.
mind.
So morally corrupt.
So what's
So I guess, is that just
so
like a
first
like a bad person? Or?
that
I
sounds
guess.
a lot worse than second degree murder.
Yeah,
it's a
it sounded
morally
worse.
corrupt mind.
Morally
right, and then
corrupt.
first degree is just
First
basically an
degree is-
accident.
You purposely killing someone.
No, that's not an accident.
No.
First
Oh,
degree
they're
is
flipped.
Yes.
Yeah, first
Okay,
degree
okay.
is bad news. Like I wake up tomorrow morning and I'm gonna come kill you.
Okay, gotcha.
And I do it.
That makes a lot more sense. So how can you be charged with both second and third?
That's what I'm wondering. How can
Second, he accidentally killed him, but
he meant to hurt him but not kill him?
okay.
Third degree is
And he was convicted of third degree murder.
Yes, both second and third
so
degree.
Yeah, but third degree, I don't think you mean to hurt them. Third degree is like accidentally killing somebody, but you did something that was dangerous to them.
Well,
So you put their life
Second-
in danger.
he did.
Second
I mean,
degree,
technically.
second degree, you want to hurt them, but kill them. Third degree, you just did something dangerous that ended up killing them.
Okay, that
So
makes
you didn't mean to hurt them or kill them,
Which is exactly what happened.
which
Right.
is what happened.
right.
But the question, no, it's not a question anymore. There were drugs in his system,
There
Yes,
were.
there
yes.
were.
but they weren't enough to cause death, is what the jury came to conclusion.
I guess not.
Apparently.
Well, I guess they decided that the knee on the neck was the main reason that he died.
Mhm.
Like the drugs didn't have anything to do with it. Like if they would have knelt on my neck, I would have died from it too.
Right.
Is what they decided.
Okay. Did you see all the people outside of the courthouse?
did.
There's like videos of that.
Already.
People chanting
Yes.
Before,
outside of the courthouse.
so do you think? I feel like him being accused of all 3, probably best case scenario.
Why?
because hopefully this sets an example. So there's no further
So
question. So that now that if another trial comes out like this, it's not going to be a surprise if they get worse.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't have to go through this again,
yes.
but something similar just happened.
Is it Dante Wright? Is that his
Right.
name? Yeah.
The woman
They
police officer
accidentally pulled out her gun
Right.
instead of her taser.
instead of her taser.
Which
20 years of experience.
how does that happen?
20 years of
Your-
experience. You
your
made that
gun
mistake.
your gun is on your dominant side.
Right.
Always. Your gun is 2.5 pounds. Your taser's 8 ounces. Both of them, you got to take a safety off before you shoot it.
Yep.
Right.
And
Back to the trial, though. Do you think so? You say accusing him of all three is best case scenario
matter of
in terms of
the
like,
riots.
in terms of the riots. But like, what about him? If you were him, how would you be thinking about this?
I don't.
If
I
I'm-
can't imagine being in his shoes.
Because I don't think
I-
he went in there having the intent to kill.
No.
I don't think anybody is going to win from this.
No.
Nobody is going to walk away and say, I won.
Yeah. George Floyd is still dead, so his family is
Exactly. And you cannot take that back. You cannot
No.
bring him back.
Not at all. So they already lost no matter what happens.
Yeah. No, I don't
No,
think anybody
yeah.
walks away a winner from
No.
this.
No, I don't really think so. It's kind of a shitty situation.
But
Yeah.
in terms of riots,
I think this is the best.
I think this will cause the least amount of chaos
Yes. Anything less
to
than
the rest.
him getting charged with everything would
Right.
have been
Because
yeah.
there
bad.
would have been a group of people not happy with anything less than everything. Basically, at the end of the
There
day.
definitely would have been a group of people
Yeah.
extremely pissed off about one of the
Yes.
charges getting dropped. Any
For sure.
single one of them.
Yeah.
What's the manslaughter charge? Second degree manslaughter?
Creating an unreasonable risk and consciously taking the chance of causing death or serious harm to somebody else. So it explains it as intentional conduct that Chauvin may not have intended to be harmful, but that an ordinary and reasonable person would recognize as having a strong probability of causing injury to others.
That one makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
I don't know if I would necessarily disagree with any of them. I just don't understand how you can get
all of them.
second and third.
Second and third degree murder. Yes. How
Why is
I-
it not just second?
I don't
it should
think
just be
I would have
second.
charged him of second degree murder. I think I would have done third degree murder, second degree manslaughter. Because that matches up pretty well with
Yes.
what happened.
It all comes down to whether or not they think that he wanted to hurt Floyd,
Right.
or was he truly trying to just constrain him so he could arrest him, or did he want to hurt him?
And they thought he was trying to hurt him.
And they decided that he was trying to hurt him.
And they really did try. I mean, the jury behind this, they really did try to get an equal jury.
Yeah, they really did. They did.
There was 4 white people.
No, 4
No.
blacks.
4 full blacks, 2 who identified as mixed, and then 6 white.
Okay.
So it really couldn't.
It was really even.
Right.
Yeah.
From a
Right,
racial
right.
standpoint.
Thank God they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they wouldn't have took those necessary measures,
Yes.
But how do you find somebody that doesn't
Yeah.
know about this already?
I couldn't. When jury calls, I mean, but still, how could you take that? Like that? I don't know who lived under a rock and didn't hear about
Yes,
this.
how
For
can
the
you
past
not
year?
hear?
Yeah.
Hear about
There's-
Minneapolis burning down for the
Yeah.
last year?
Yeah.
But I guess they found 6 people, so.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but they already have they had 1,000 National Guard
Had
members
1,000
there already.
National Guard troops
Preparing
in
for-
Minneapolis, ready for riots.
Yeah.
Oh, I would too. I
Plus
would,
the
I would
police
sent them
police
all.
force was planning
Right.
for it, and yes.
Yeah. Crazy world, crazy world. And the woman police officer that shot, what was his name?
Dante, right?
Yep.
Not do it.
She did get, hers is already out, right?
Is it?
She's guilty.
Oh,
They did
I
a
didn't-
case I don't think.
Didn't
You-
know that.
I thought she was just accused.
Is she just accused? Did that not come out yet? That would be pretty
I
quick.
think
Now
she's
that
just
That would
about
be
it.
because it
quick,
just
yeah.
happened recently.
And this one would probably be a pretty tough case to find some jurors for too.
Yeah.
So, the Derek case.
Mhm.
Did we figure out how long he's going to prison for? Is it like? I mean, that's quite the buildup of charges. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I got a feeling he's gonna be in for a while. Well, the max for all three was 15 or 50, right?
the max for just second degree murder is 50 years.
Oh,
That's
just second degree?
That's the
second.
max,
And the min's 15.
I think the recommended for Minnesota State for a first time offender is 12 and a half, is what I read.
12 and a half.
12 and a half years.
I can't imagine.
But
Just
it said somewhere that the prosecutors were urging them to go longer than that because of the circumstances of this.
right.
imagine going to jail for 50 years and then coming back out into the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
It's
would be
just a
different.
completely
different
different
world.
world.
You're 50 years behind your time.
If we look back 3 years, we're living in a completely
Yeah.
different
Oh yeah,
world.
And just technology alone.
I'd like to see how this place looks in 50 years.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
You figure anything about the other trial? If that
I
woman
didn't
got-
see. But some other exciting news. Jake Paul. First round knockout. Ben Askren is on the canvas. Who were you guys before the fight? Did you think Jake was going to win?
I had mixed feelings about before the fight. I was kind of leaning towards Ben winning the fight.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I've always been against Jake Paul. I don't know why.
Before
But-
the fight, I had Jake all the way.
Yeah,
We can-
same.
Jake was 100% winning.
I didn't. I could see him winning, but I could not see a first round knockout like that.
I myself was not expecting a
I
first
was
round
not
knockout
expecting
either.
that at
No.
all.
I
was
thought it'd go
expecting
at
that. See that
least
coming.
two.
I
At
was
least
expecting
two.
a good fight out of it.
I
But-
saw Impulsive. I watched that quite frequently, and Jake was on it, and they called out Ben Askren and who's the other guy Jake just fought? Not just fought, but before
Nate
this
Robinson.
one, Nate
Nate
Robinson
Robinson.
said that Ben Askren and Nate Robinson should fight. Who do you think would win that one? I mean,
Honestly,
I think
Ben.
Nate Robinson.
You
no.
think Nate?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
You think
You think
Nate?
so?
Yeah. Did you see the way Ben was fighting? It was terrible.
That was.
It looked like a high school fight club.
I'm gonna quote
Quote it.
a famous philosopher by the name of Snoop Dogg.
Oh, God.
Where did Ben get his 1980s fight style? Is what he said.
But it was terrible. He didn't.
Yeah. Dad bod was in full
Yes.
swing.
Oh,
It was
definitely was.
I could not have saw that coming though.
You didn't think
No.
I didn't think first round. I thought it'd go at least two.
I thought it would go deep into it.
You
I thought it would go like 5, 6, 7 rounds.
really?
Yeah.
You know, some people say they called that too early. What do you guys think
Yeah.
about that?
Ben
He
actually
was-
Ben said something about it in the post fight interview, right?
Yeah.
He was up and standing too, right
But
after
did
it.
you see? He did not look good. He got
no.
He got up.
was-
He got up and immediately stumbled backwards, and the ropes caught him.
The ref
And
actually
then-
held him a little bit. He was
Yeah,
kind
the
of
ref guided him
around.
around.
The ref stepped back and told him to step forward, and Ben stumbled up to his side,
Yeah.
and that's when the ref waved it off.
So do you think it was called too early, or it was
I don't think
fairly
so.
right time?
I think if they wouldn't have called it, I think the next punch he'd have been right back down.
Yeah,
on the canvas.
I agree.
Probably. The next punch like that,
Yes,
he would have been down.
any decent contact.
Is he? He's retiring now, isn't he?
Ben?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I heard something about how he said he's retiring after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a way to go out.
It's a way
What
to
a way
retire.
to go out.
Last
tell
two
you that.
fights, he gets knocked out by a flying knee in 4 seconds, and knocked out by Jake Paul.
That's how you know it's
a
time to
minute
go.
before.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time to get out.
It's-
Pick up it. But he's a big coach, right? He coaches youth, I think.
I would assume
Really?
that's wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling.
Yeah, not boxing. 'cause
He,
he's not good at that.
He's an Olympian wrestler.
He's an Olympic wrestler,
Oh, I did not-
2-time Division I champion.
For Michigan?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I think it was Michigan.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, he went to the Olympics. He didn't win the Olympics wrestling, but he was there, competed.
He didn't win, you said?
No, he didn't win the Olympics.
Did he bring any hardware home?
If I remember right, he got beat in the first or second round.
Oh, so not good. Didn't do good.
He got there.
He just got to say he was an
Yeah.
Olympian.
Yeah. You got to say,
he's
yeah.
an Olympian.
He
That's
was
his-
an Olympian.
Yep.
I was browsing the web the other day.
What web?
The internet.
internet.
And I
Okay.
saw a article on climate change. What are your or global warming, I guess.
Okay,
What are your
same
guys'
thing.
thoughts on that?
I'd like to hear your thoughts first.
Climate change. So I had.
Our
I,
past president was a strong believer that
He
it
was-
was not a thing, right?
yes.
Right.
he
Did
was-
was not
Was
happening.
not, but
Yes.
this one is a strong believer in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's definitely it's something. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it. I haven't looked into it much.
Do you think climate
I
change is
mean-
real?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't think. Okay. Yes, the climate is changing,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think we can influence it that much, and that we're gonna be able to do anything to stop it from changing. It's always been changing.
I respectfully 110% disagree.
Really?
I 100% think climate change is a thing, and I don't think it's that climate is changing. I think it's the rate that it's changing because of all of the pollution that we cause to the air.
We do cause a lot of pollution.
And
That's definitely.
I
something.
mean, smog was not a thing before humans.
yeah.
That
Got a
is
point
correct.
there.
So there's constantly like tests and stuff that they're doing. But the one that
Right.
stood out to me is when you can count the atoms. We're going to go science mode here.
Okay.
When you can count the atoms in an iceberg from like millions of years ago, and then they like it's like slowly decreasing, and then we get to like where our factories and stuff like that ramp up,
Right.
and it just drastically changes, and ever since then it's been changing. To me, it's just hard evidence that is hard to disagree with.
I don't know. I feel like we have an impact on it,
Mhm.
okay? But I don't think we're the main impact.
So what is?
I think it's the Earth just cycles.
You think
It's
it's
cycled. It's
nature
cycled.
taking its course?
I think it is. I think it's nature taking its course. The icebergs will be back, no matter what. No matter what the outcome is, if we're dead or not. Like humanity is gone.
Right.
Icebergs will be back. Earth will return back to this state. It'll warm up, melt everything, and it's just a constant cycle.
You think we're just gonna? So you think the ice age is gonna happen again,
Yes.
and we're just gonna keep repeating?
Yes, I feel like it's a constant cycle because once one thing, it's like a pendulum.
Okay.
We're in the middle. We just so happen the pendulum over millions of years.
Right.
Once it starts going one way too much, it's gonna start coming back the other way, and that momentum brings it past.
So you think it's hot climate, no ice, water everywhere, and then ice
then-
age,
and then it'll,
and we're in the middle,
and then
we're
it'll,
swinging
yes,
back and
we're
forth.
swinging back and forth. That's what I believe.
So, because the area we live in is didn't get touched by.
Yes.
Glaciers,
Yeah, just
right?
barely. Yeah,
Driftless.
Right.
area.
So, do you think eventually the entire Earth is going to be flat? If we continue this cycle?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that. Could be a possibility, but I don't think so.
How boring. God, I'm glad I don't live in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look and you can see Chicago. Just flat.
Flat.
Well, I guess not really because the Earth curves.
Not like Kyrie Irving, like flat.
Yeah. We're
Like,
no flat earthers.
Earth
No,
right
is anybody a flat earther here?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm not.
Watch out for the edge of the earth.
I've got another point here.
Okay.
Do you think at some point humanity is gonna drop off the face of the earth?
No.
We will all be gone.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think we have enough technology
To sustain us?
To-
to
So,
live in
yeah.
any climate. I mean, name a climate that we couldn't live in.
One without oxygen.
You got me there.
I mean, we don't have that technology yet.
That's true. All right. Wow. Okay. That was short. You got me there.
But there's got to be a time, some point in time, something's gonna happen.
Okay, but like, what do you mean? Like asteroids bombing us and because like we can,
It could be an asteroid impact.
but I mean, we could go Armageddon on them and just launch a
Just
missile at it and blow it up.
Do you think that would work? Do you think we could just
I mean, if you hit
blow up an
something big
asteroid?
enough,
I think that if you hit a missile, a big missile into the middle of an asteroid like that, I think that it would work to the point where it wouldn't just
kill all
Completely
of them.
destroy
Yeah,
Earth.
I agree.
like,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like some chunks might hit the Earth.
There
still,
might be some
but it's not
casualties,
gonna-
but it's not going to wipe out humanity.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You think that there's other, like, aliens?
Oh yes, definitely.
I mean,
there's definitely
somewhere?
other life.
How could you not?
There is other
Yes.
life.
I mean, you look up at the stars at night, and it's just endless.
Yeah.
yeah.
And like every star is like our sun.
Yeah.
That's
There's a
each of
whole-
our suns.
There's a whole nother
And
solar
we're only in
system
one
after
galaxy.
Every star.
And that's
this
just
is
our galaxy.
Yeah.
It gets a
This
lot
is our
bigger from there.
galaxy.
There is no way we had the
So,
one in how big
Right.
of a chance to
Right.
just so happen.
so do you think we'll ever?
Like find any of them?
No, not. I'm guessing. I mean, I would hope eventually we would find something. But do you think we'll ever find the end of space?
I don't know. No.
Do you think-
No.
Is there an end of space?
Is that?
I
That's what
don't-
I'm saying.
I don't
mean,
think there is.
You know how tiny we are. And
Incredibly.
if you think
tiny.
about it, we are tiny.
That's crazy.
Like how big, even this town right here is big. We got 1,000 people or so, and we're a little town in a
fraction.
small county of a small state of a bigger country of a continent of a globe. So
It just
of
it
an
keeps
Earth
growing,
just
growing,
keeps
growing.
getting
even
huger.
if we were possibly able to get to the end of space, you know how
Uh-huh.
far away that is.
No, I
Like,
don't.
if we were able-
I actually
If
don't
we
know.
were able to travel at light speed, it would still take us billions of billions of billions,
right.
trillions of years.
Well, a light ray from the sun takes 8 minutes to
8
touch
minutes.
Earth.
Yeah,
Fun fact.
that is
Yeah.
a fun fact.
it takes. What was it? I saw it the other day, but it's close to a year just for, like, one of our rockets to get to Mars, which is like the next planet over from us,
Yeah,
right?
it's like
I'm not sure.
7 or 8
I'm-
months is what I
Yeah,
heard.
7 or 8 months. That's what I
to get.
just to get to Mars.
Yeah.
and that's like the planet closest to us. So if we
Yeah.
fly to
so
Pluto, the end of our solar system, or whatever one's before that, for people who don't think Pluto's a planet.
That's the dwarf planet.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
dwarf planet.
Yeah.
so do you think
That's
there's
just
a
the end
limit
of
to our
ours.
space travel?
I don't
is there
know
a
how
limit?
we-
Like, can we only do so much?
I don't think so.
You don't?
I think
In terms of
there's-
what? In terms of financially?
No, not financially. No.
You
but
think
like
just with
physically?
if everybody gave everything for free,
Yeah, but where?
like if Elon Musk had all the resources in the world
right.
and nothing, like how far could he actually get?
Right.
I mean, I think you'd basically just use the piggyback system, right? Like you would go make a base on Mars,
Right.
and
make a
then
base on, and
make
just
it-
keep going and going, and then like you just have
That would probably be the best.
what's that game called?
bet.
Planet Base.
What
It's-
are we talking about here?
It's
Yeah,
it's
I'm
just a
not-
game. It's a planet
Oh,
based
yeah,
game.
I'm
Okay,
not following you.
No.
but you would just create like basically
So you say we colonize
yeah,
planets
basically
at a time,
right.
and once that one planet gets sustainable, we hop over to the next
Right.
one.
And then you always have like checkpoints. So like you're flying your rocket in space and you're getting low on gas. You pull into Mars, fill up, and keep going. I feel like eventually that is. I would hope. Like maybe not like you and I
No.
flying rockets.
Yeah.
No,
Because
definitely
we'd
not.
get lost and die, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be tragic.
lost in space.
Barely good enough to drive cars.
Yeah,
But
I
I
just
think-
got my driver's
I think
license.
I think that's a far away, like
Oh, for sure.
in time.
yeah.
Well, I
for
just don't
us.
think nobody financially,
Nobody can do it
No.
financially.
and there's a lot of people with a lot of money, but space travel's no joke.
No, it's not.
We are trying to get tourists to space, though. Is that
That's the thing.
Yeah.
you can
Commercial
buy?
space travel.
Right.
Right.
And is it in swing?
No, I don't think it's
don't-
officially, but
yeah.
I know Elon Musk has had
Right.
ideas of commercial space travel.
Would you be the first ones to hop on that?
No.
No?
I definitely.
If you
would
could
not
go
be.
for free, you still want?
I don't even like the
Mm-mm.
idea of being in space.
No.
I don't think I could ever do that.
Like an airplane is about high enough for me.
Like, imagine if you're actually in space. You're in this tiny capsule, and there is an infinite amount of nothing. Your whole life is that little capsule. Everything relies on that little
Yeah.
capsule. Everything around you is just
It's gotta be
nothing.
overwhelming once you get up there.
It's gotta be.
Oh.
I couldn't do it. I don't think I would.
I am seeing Virgin earlier priced seats on its space plane at $250,000 a seat.
Holy shit.
But there's some people out there that can afford
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Well, you can
What does
afford
the
that.
space plane do? What, do you just go to space?
Is it
come
just
back?
like a ride and turn around and come back?
I
or
would say I don't.
Or is it just a one-way trip? Just
you get to make
Have fun. You're on your own now, buddy. Have off. This is
Population.
one way. See ya.
population control.
spreading the wealth out. That's why it costs so much.
You got a will, right? Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to do trivia? Since it is 420, we got
do
a
weed trivia.
we got a little weed trivia.
Trivia.
I got my smart cap on.
You got a smart cap?
I do.
We're going it's all about weed, but very broad questions.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
What do you think was the first state to ban weed?
The ban.
To ban
to
it?
ban weed.
I feel like California's notorious for banning things in front of everybody else. So I'm saying California. Because California's very notorious for doing shit like that.
Yeah.
1 in 50.
You do have a 1 in 50 shot.
I feel like I read this online somewhere in preparation for 420. I studied up.
Studied on this. I
Studied
didn't
up.
You
study.
should-
for this trivia.
The favorite is Tyson for this
And
trivia round.
I don't want to copy Ethan or anything, but
I'm
that's-
going based on the fact that California just
But that is-
bans everything.
honestly, that's
Anything-
that is the first thought that popped into my head. It seems like I read somewhere that California was like the first to ban it, and now they're like one of the first to unban it.
They're unbanning it? California?
But yeah,
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know that.
So
California
I
final
get-
answers?
I'm-
California.
yeah, I'm gonna say
I'm saying
California.
California.
Well, you nailed it on the head with that one because it is California.
California bans everything.
All right.
California
When
bans
was this
everything.
time frame? Do we know? When did California ban it?
was
We're-
it
I don't know.
1700s?
I have
maybe?
no clue. I
Whatever,
don't even
we'll
know what to
just-
guess. Moving on to question number 2. What president grew hemp?
Hemp? I don't know very many presidents.
Well, it's a famous one. I will give you that. It's a very famous president. Arguably the most famous.
Like
I'll go
George Washington.
George Washington.
Okay,
That's
I
what I wanna
gotta be
say.
different. I'm gonna say Abraham Lincoln.
I mean, the dude had wooden teeth.
I'm
Something
gonna
must
say
have
George
got.
Abraham
Washington
Lincoln.
I swear to God, he had
Yeah,
wooden teeth.
I didn't know that.
But something must have screwed up his teeth.
I'm
and
gonna
his
say
dad-
Abraham Lincoln because wasn't he like born in a wood cabin or something?
Yeah,
He's
he was.
got the
He was.
hillbilliness
Yeah,
inside of
he
his
does.
blood.
He
was.
was.
I'm saying that.
Well, the answer
No,
is
George.
George Washington.
Yeah.
All right, question number 3. What famous philosopher smoked weed? Not in our time frame.
Not in our time frame.
This is a blast in the past.
So we're not talking Snoop Dogg?
We're not. This is
Are we
not-
talking like Isaac Newton times?
Yes.
Oh, that far back.
Yeah. Okay. Did Isaac Newton smoke weed?
That would be ironic.
Yeah, it
Is
was.
that how we discovered gravity?
He was high when he discovered
His
gravity.
ashes kept falling.
Yeah.
What? Smoke goes up, ashes go down.
Who's philosophers? Philosopher.
Philosopher. Is there one named Homer?
Homer. There is a one named Homer with an L.
What is it?
Homer.
10 seconds.
Homer.
Ar-
10 seconds.
I'm gonna say Aristotle.
I'm gonna go.
Really pulled that one out of nowhere.
I'm gonna say Galileo.
The answer is Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
I thought he was
Bill.
a writer, not a philosopher.
Shakespeare.
Well, he's both.
What is a philosopher?
So
Like,
did he write Romeo and Juliet while he was high?
He might have.
I mean, it could explain.
Was it a high thought?
It
Was it a
could
high-
explain some of his writing because if you ever
Yeah.
tried to read it,
Yeah,
doesn't
Yeah,
make much
right.
sense.
it's confusing.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
All right. What country grows the most cannabis in the world?
What country?
Yep.
Is this
Present-
a popular
present day?
country? Popular?
What?
This present day, right?
Yeah.
Do the Russians got something going on over there?
I mean, they got a big country.
Yeah,
They have
I'll
the
say.
space
They-
for it.
Ooh, do
That's
they
just
though?
a-
Climate is.
Yeah, that's what that's my
Ooh,
thought.
I don't know.
It's
You
pretty
need,
cold.
you need a warm
It's
climate.
pretty cold. I mean, you always hear about being smuggled over the border down south.
I figured somebody bring that
Oh.
up.
Could it be Mexico? I feel like
5 seconds.
South America.
No,
I'll go with
I
Mexico.
don't know South America. I'm
Final
what country in
answers.
South America. I'm gonna go with the U.S. We are. We're legalizing it.
America.
Okay.
It is the hometown USA.
We're coming on top. We're on
Coming
top
in.
of everything.
All right.
That was actually kind of a while. I didn't really know any South American countries on the top of my head, so. you
Next
gave me
question.
5
So we're
seconds.
2-2 now, right?
It
we
is
are
2-2.
Locked up.
How much weed does it take to overdose?
Like, are we talking ounces, pounds, like
We can do pounds.
pounds? Pounds. Is weed heavy? Like, is a pound of weed a fuck ton of weed? like, like, damn.
I don't know.
Like, how much does the average blunt weigh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be like.
Can we get some scales out?
I mean, that's
Yeah.
gotta.
Here, let me pull mine out. We'll measure it
Yeah.
quick.
A pound. I feel like a pound of weed's a lot of weed.
I feel like that is a lot of that. I have no clue though.
I mean, for something being a
That's
flower,
speaking from experience.
a plant, a pound of leaves.
Yeah, this is not.
Not weed,
No,
but
this is
Not
not.
a
weed.
pound of leaves.
Not
This is
weed.
not 420.
Disclaimer: not weed. We don't smoke weed.
No. 5 seconds.
I'm gonna say half a pound.
I'm gonna go.
Whatever that is. Half a pound, 8 ounces.
I'm gonna go 1 pound.
Hate to be this guy. It's a trick question. You cannot overdose on weed.
No, there's no way.
You cannot.
You know what? When you said that question, that was like my first thought
You
was
cannot.
was like, really? You can overdose on weed?
Nope.
I feel like you can overdose on everything.
Not this.
Can you overdose on fruit snacks?
Their dosage of fruit.
3 servings, you're on. All right, next question. How old is weed?
How old?
When was the first?
Like, we looking for a year? Like, when did they
No.
discover it?
No, like
Or-
how many years old it is?
How many years? We're talking like when they discovered it,
But, like,
or when
if I had to guess, it'd be when Indians.
like when they started.
I'm
growing
guessing.
it.
think
Well, I
Indians
mean,
were
I think-
growing weed.
Yeah, peace pipes, right?
Oh yeah.
How long ago did the
Big
Indians
potheads.
live here? Potheads.
What's that one lady's name? the girl Indian that married the white guy. She
Sacagawea.
Sacagawea. Big stoner.
Big stoner.
5
Big
seconds.
Stoner.
5 seconds.
5
chill,
seconds.
chill. What was the question again?
Come on. I
How
just
long?
gotta
How old is weed?
How
We'll
old
bump
is
it up
weed?
to 10 seconds.
1,000 years old.
We're at 2021 right now.
Get the closest answer. Get the point.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
how
go.
long goes 1,000? Like Jesus time?
1,000 years ago would be the year 1021. 1021.
Okay, maybe less than that.
I'm gonna go 500 years.
Shit. 750 years.
Ethan wins the point. It is 8,000 years
8,000?
old.
How can you trace something back to that?
Yeah.
Jesus was a big stoner.
So
I
you
guess.
tell me that T-Rexes with their short little arms were rolling up blunts?
That's more than 8,000 years ago.
No. That's like
The caveman in the cave.
The
was-
cavemen.
Ooh.
Cavemen were.
All right, last question. What's the
what's the score? What's the score?
3 to 2?
3-2.
3-2?
3-2, I believe.
What
That's
if we
impossible.
tie?
We're on 7th question.
But we both missed one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Missed
Good.
You
Good.
got
good,
us
good,
on a
good,
trick
good.
question.
I did. I should have
Yeah,
disclaimed.
trick
There's a
question.
one trick question in the
We actually
A
missed
bunch.
2. We missed a trick question and the.
right.
Well,
Right.
I missed
Okay.
one
Shakespeare
more
one.
than you missed.
Right. Okay.
'Cause I
Final
got-
question.
Okay.
America being the largest, what was it? Production of weed. Smoke-
Producer?
What? I don't even know. What the
Grower?
question was. Yeah. What?
Okay.
Because we grow the most weed. Where is the largest cannabis greenhouse?
Where?
Which state? In the U.S. of A.
Colorado. Well. I think Colorado's some good potheads there.
Do you think
Yeah.
so?
There's a lot of potheads. in
Because that's like the
Colorado.
first state that legalized it. So they could have farms there.
Just
But they are pretty high up.
Just a heads up, I would not pick the same answer, Tyson,
Yeah,
because
I'm
you
not
will
gonna.
automatically lose.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
saying
I'm
you're
not
gonna
gonna.
lose. What places have legalized weed?
You know what?
10 seconds.
California's got a good climate.
Ooh, I'm saying Colorado.
Colorado?
I'll go with California.
California. Well, the answer is with a 40-acre cannabis greenhouse.
A greenhouse?
One green.
That's a warehouse.
Yeah.
That's more than a warehouse.
40 acres. That's a big. That's a
Are you
big
sure this is a greenhouse?
100%, and it is located in Arizona.
Hey, I was closer. That's my point.
No,
I was
no.
closer.
Arizona. 40 acres?
40 acres. Is Arizona even 40 acres?
I don't
The
think so.
whole state?
I don't think
Is that like
I think
half
the
of
whole
Arizona?
state's just weed. Does it naturally grow there?
I don't know, but this is in a 40-acre greenhouse. And I think the winner of our trivia is
That would be me.
Ethan.
I don't win
I got a
streak.
fun fact about
Start
weed.
my win
Do
streak.
ya?
You guys know who Bob Marley is?
I do.
I do.
Big weed guy.
Big
Obviously.
stoner? Really?
So it says on the great website of Google,
Mhm.
it says that he was buried with the things he was buried with was his Red Gibson guitar,
Obviously.
big musician,
Mhm, mhm.
obviously, and a Bible open to Psalms 23, which I'll explain later,
Yep.
and then a cannabis bud. So he was buried with weed.
Well, there you go.
I'd have just
And-
put all my weed in my casket.
23rd Psalm begins,
yeah.
The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures.
Well, I mean, there you go.
Can it get
So-
Don't
more
specify.
graceful than
So
that?
he is-
I mean,
So I
Not
mean,
sure we
he
can.
got laid to rest, kicked back in a fragrant green field
There
of
you
his
go.
favorite herb.
Casket closed.
What a guy.
Bouncing back to our last trivia question there. There's some news in Arizona. The governor of Arizona, and I quote,
Quote.
"We strongly recommend all Arizonas get the COVID-19 vaccine. It is not mandated in our state and it never will be. Vaccination is up to each individual, not the government." You
He knows what he's talking about.
you guys agree with
I
that?
agree with that. That is
You
like,
don't think a vaccine should ever be
No.
never?
No. Never.
Even if it's a worldwide pandemic causing multiple death and lots of money?
I mean, I think people should always have their choice about something. Like there's very few things that you should be able to say you have to do this. You have no choice but to do this.
So, okay, let's put it in this perspective. If you getting the vaccine could save lives, do you think you should have to?
Giving blood saves lives, but you're not required to give
You're not
blood.
required. That's
That's a good point. That's a
Good
strong
point.
point.
So I don't think they can require you to do.
But you
anything.
also don't cause deaths because you don't give blood.
It could. Lack of blood.
Well, okay,
Lack of blood able
but not
to give.
directly. Not
Yeah.
directly.
No, not directly. But this is, I think,
But-
blown a little bit out of proportion.
So the vaccine is what?
because we can play the if game.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
fair enough. Fair enough.
So the vaccine, what is the percentages on that? 90-some% effective for what? For preventing you from getting COVID or just lessening the symptoms?
From getting it.
Getting it.
From getting COVID.
But you can still
So
carry,
if-
right?
you
so
can
if-
still carry it. Yes.
If me and you have our vaccines
Mm-hmm.
and Ethan doesn't want to,
We can carry it and give it to him. We can't. So how, like, if you inhale it and say it's like in your nose, and I sneeze, it comes out of my nose and can get into yours.
so here's the thing with the choice. His choice not to get the vaccine. So he not getting the vaccine
So-
understands that risk that he has of getting
So
it.
really, it's not affecting other people.
So we
it's
should-
only affecting me.
Yes. Him not getting the vaccine doesn't affect us at all. Because who cares if
It
we
Okay.
carry
only
it? 'cause we
I
affects
see
have
what
a
you're
because
saying,
you
vaccine.
can
yeah.
still carry it
Yes.
and give it to other people.
If he doesn't want to get his vaccine,
So
then
because he's not getting it, he recognizes
I feel
it and
like
knows.
Yes.
he
he's
he understands
putting himself.
that
Yes.
me and you could give it to him. And that's not our fault.
What vaccine just got pulled?
Johnson & Johnson.
Really?
What's your
Why?
thoughts on that?
Why they get pulled?
It
See,
ca-
I saw that Donald Trump, I heard on the radio this morning that Donald Trump claims, and he has been in the government before, so he may have knowledge that we don't, but he claims that Johnson & Johnson being pulled is a FDA thing. He says
So they
that
weren't
he said that the FDA is very corrupt, which
Well,
I could see him saying that.
Corrupt. What's so corrupt about the FDA?
He
Yeah,
says
I'm
that
not
they're
sure.
very corrupt and that Pfizer and Moderna are in the FDA's, or the FDA is in Pfizer and Moderna's back pockets. And Pfizer and Moderna wanted to keep making money, and Johnson & Johnson was making them lose money. So they had the
wow,
FDA
I didn't hear
pull it.
this.
Yes, I heard this on the
I-
radio this morning.
I
That's what
read,
Trump said.
saw actually that no vaccines are actually FDA approved, but
They're
instead,
They're
instead
s-
they're approved
I
for
don't-
emergency release.
Approved for emergency use is what.
But they're not-
they were.
FDA approved.
What is the CDC?
Yeah.
They cleared them.
Who pulled Johnson & Johnson? Who made that
Did
decision?
FDA?
Was that the
Did you just
FDA?
say the FDA?
I think
I'm
well,
pretty
that's
sure
what I heard on the radio this morning. So that's what.
because
So,
I think
okay,
if the
but-
FDA recognizes something that's too big of a threat, they can pull it,
Right.
Yes.
but they don't have to authorize
But
it.
the logic behind pulling it was because of blood clotting. It was,
that was the reason.
and there was like 7 cases
Yes.
out of like 2 million.
millions. So
Any mathematicians?
maybe
What is that
there's-
percent?
I'm no
Yes,
mathematician,
it's a very
but,
low
It's
percent.
a very low percent.
Yeah.
I think there's something more to it. Now that you,
Now,
and I'm not agreeing with what you're saying because I
I'm
haven't
not-
done any further research.
I'm not agreeing with him either, but
But
there could be something behind
that
that.
does make a little more sense.
so you
than
think that it's corrupt?
I don't know.
I
if
don't
that-
know
in a way,
I
corrupt.
don't
I don't
know if it's
it's
exactly
corrupt,
that.
But I think there's more to the story.
You think that there's a business side of this?
Maybe.
Possibly.
I think there's a business side to everything. The farther, if you get into it far enough.
I also heard about there being a business side to the marking down as COVID deaths. Hospitals, they get money every COVID death they get.
There was
So,
a lot of questioning.
As many
Yeah.
bodies as they can trace COVID to, no matter
Right.
what their cause of death is, they're gonna mark it down as COVID
Yeah.
just so they get money for it.
If you have COVID, it doesn't matter how you die. If you
Right.
have
If you die in a
COVID
car crash
and get shot in the head,
you died.
you
from
died because of
COVID.
COVID.
Right. I did hear, and actually, close to us in town, there was a couple cases like that of grandparents that were previously in the hospital because of pre-existing conditions, and then died with COVID, and it got marked down as they died from
Yes,
COVID.
they just happened to have COVID when they died.
So you think
but
there's a
that's
little
not
bit of
why. I think
corrupt-
that
I
there might
actually
be a
didn't
little
know
bit,
that
yeah.
hospitals got money for that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
get money
Yeah.
every COVID death.
And I heard that this was going on before I heard that.
Really?
So hospitals trying to.
Trying to just
So
make
what do
bank?
you think that's from a business standpoint? You think that's wrong? It
It's
definitely
unethical from a business standpoint, but it's a smart business move.
because Mm, it definitely made our country look worse because of the large numbers
Yeah.
of deaths, but it also. So where did the money come from? I guess I should ask first.
Is it just government funding money? Just like
I'm not sure.
I
about that.
mean, it would almost have to be.
it would. Yeah. There's not much.
yeah, I'm guessing.
There's
so.
not really a different place for it to come from.
Yeah.
Nobody else really has money right now,
Right.
unless you're.
So do you think that was a
Yeah.
driver?
Unless
you're Elon Musk
Yeah.
or Bill Gates.
So
or,
do you think there's a certain percent of our COVID death cases that are a certain percent of them is false cases? False.
not false
like a
cases,
good
but false
percent.
deaths?
Yeah.
False deaths.
False
Yeah, I would
deaths.
say false deaths, not false,
False
cases.
deaths.
Not.
But there's a
cases.
good percentage of that that's also making
Mm.
us look really bad as a country.
I don't think I can't imagine it would be over 25%.
Yeah.
I think
We're not-
around-
Because it's a global pandemic. Like
Yes.
there's no doubt that this is causing deaths.
Yeah.
Maybe
it
the
is.
number that has been projected and portrayed across once again media, who blows everything to proportion, probably not quite. Is that
yeah,
is that what I think it is?
it's exactly what you think it is. But
We have a fellow railroad friend coming by.
yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't derail and ruin all our cars.
Whoa.
So all three of our cars are parked
Yeah.
right next
That
to the
would
train
suck.
tracks.
But anyways,
So, I guess would you get the COVID-19 vaccine?
not unless there's a reason to. Not unless if I no longer have to wear a mask. Like if I would just like I'm a cop, got my card, bitch.
Yeah.
Like someone tells me to put my mask on, just nope.
Nope.
It's a
Got the
badge.
vaccine. And that actually is a thing. In some cases, you cannot fly without the vaccine.
I don't
It's
think-
getting stamped on your passport.
That you have a vaccine.
Really, I don't think that's right for airlines to do that.
You don't think so?
But then again, it is their own.
it is their
It's their
Right,
private
you're
business.
using their service.
They can do whatever they want. Really, they can't force you to get the vaccine, but they can say you're not going to come to our company if you don't have it.
Right.
Is there a good percentage of like?
Let's do a sponsor break and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Thank you to our sponsors, Coda Lawn Care and Grotagets Daycare, for making this episode possible. Now back to the regular scheduled program.
All right. Thank you to those sponsors, and we're gonna. I think we left off with the COVID vaccines.
Yep.
Yep.
So, the only situation you guys would get it is if it was mandatory.
Yeah, I feel.
See, I'm a little different. I'm not. I feel like I'm gonna get it at some point. I don't know how soon it's gonna be. I was at Mayo Clinic this morning. Not saying that's better or anything than Gunderson. I mean, if they want me to say that, they're gonna have to pay me some money.
Work it over.
Mayo Clinic was equal to all other clinics, but I was there and they said that I believe they said they had like walk-ins available, that they had
Yeah,
a lot of extra
I did hear
vaccines
that.
for anybody 16 or older.
I heard
So I could have walked in
I heard
and gotten it. with my
everybody
information.
16 and older in the U.S. is eligible for a
Yes.
vaccine.
And
right?
I've heard
Yeah.
that they actually want you to come get it. Otherwise, they're going to if they're not using their vaccines, they're going to cut back on how many they're sending.
Right.
So they'll have less.
I think. I'm not saying I'm gonna go get mine tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not against getting it.
Did you have COVID?
I don't know.
You,
Probably.
I haven't had antibodies.
So
to
you-
see.
Probably.
you didn't test positive, though.
No,
I never tested.
You did.
Never
you
tested.
had it, right?
No.
Or no?
never tested.
Nope.
But I tested with a false negative. I
A
think.
false negative.
I think it was a
That's pretty
false
crazy.
negative because I was sick right around the time that our classmate had
Mhm.
COVID and we all got
Right.
quarantined.
Oh, like
And I went and got tested and it was negative. But my test, I don't know, the lady she kind of just stuck it up there. It didn't, like, I had read online that they were supposed to do it for like 10 seconds or at least swab
Right.
it around good or both sides. She just kind of boop boop.
done.
And
Get you out.
I felt I left feeling like that didn't seem like it was as bad
Thoroughly
as I thought.
tested.
Thoroughly.
But then it came back negative. I was sick for a few days with COVID-like symptoms, and then the next week, my dad tested positive for COVID,
Wow.
and he said that he was with me for my COVID test. He said his COVID test was in his nose for a lot longer, and it was swabbed around for.
And
It wasn't just in out.
And
It
your
was swabbed
antibodies
around.
came back.
And my antibodies test have come back positive twice now.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie. That's a little sus.
That is a little sus.
Yes.
But back
So-
to the vaccine. I'm not against the vaccine at all. But I just don't think, if it was my choice, I don't think I would, unless there's a reason for me to get it. Unless there's, like,
Incentive.
incentive to get it.
So, like, if you were gonna go on a trip and the only way you could go is to get it, you'd be like,
Then-
okay, whatever,
yeah,
I'll
then
just
I'd
go
be
get
like,
it.
fine,
Yeah.
I'll go get it.
Okay.
But if it's my choice, and nothing will happen if I do get it, I wouldn't
There's
waste
no,
my time and
especially
go get it.
maybe if I was in a bigger city, but where we're at
No, yeah.
with the
Yeah.
population, it just,
It doesn't make sense.
yeah.
Right
I
now,
mean,
most people around here have either had it or they're vaccinated.
I
Right.
feel
So-
like I have had it because
I
I've had
think
the
I did. I
symptoms
think I have
and
too.
everything, but I've never gotten tested. And
yeah.
Should have
And
given
hopefully
blood.
never will.
hopefully
Should've-
never will.
Should have given blood.
Yeah.
Well,
You were talking about it earlier, Ethan. You should have given blood. Saved 3 lives.
I know.
Save the
Save
I
3
know.
lives. Should've
Well,
given blood.
I think we're gonna wrap it up there. Shout out to our sponsors again, and I think just briefly, we hope that all families going through the trials right now are okay and doing better, and we hope everybody.
Yeah. Nothing.
It's just a bad
Nothing can
situation.
replace
Bad
that loss.
situation.
It is.
That's terrible. Nothing can fix that. Even if they put him away for the rest of his life.
And no winners.
No,
Yes.
Nobody wins
winners.
from
it.
No one wins.
It's a winless situation there.
I think we're gonna end on that. Thank you for watching this episode of Why Not, and we'll see you next time.
Adios.